1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing.
Yo, ma! And welcome to the PAC Show, proudly brought to you by PAC Athletic Club and DoubleTake Sports, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world. My name's J-Ball, and we are absolutely heaving here tonight. We have no DOS, but he's gotten the call up, and he's starting tonight alongside Dallin Murphy. It is Clutzy from the Bloody Breeze podcast.
Hey guys, how are we?
We're living the dream.
Thank you
How
so
doing,
much.
man?
Oh, mate, I'm good. I'm glad to hear Yo-Yo Ma again. I've been missing it. It's, yeah, I'm just stoked to be here.
Oh, God, I love you, Clutzy. I love you. Blowing
Love you
smoke
too.
up my ass. Good way to get me on side. And then we've got the battlers. Unfortunately, they have both shown up tonight. It's Big Fat Das and the Kill Switch himself.
Wasn't even planned.
Yeah.
We're the best of friends.
That's good.
Two in a row.
That was actually good.
And
Dallas
three,
would be-
2, 1, start again.
That was actually really good.
Oh,
Some of your best work, Big Fat Das. But As we said, no DOS tonight, but Dal, you're back in the mixer after you
Yeah,
missed last
baby.
weekend. What happened there, man? You're a bit dusty.
Bit dusty. Had me Bucks party. Didn't come good till Thursday.
Crikey.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Some serious head noise.
Into the
Serious.
into the Benga box. We lost track of time, and things happen.
How long
and
are you allowed in there?
Till 4 a.m. As long as you take your rubbish you came in with, it's all okay. And the bloke who owns it rocked up, and he was just like, big sports fan, and Moranta was there and Frisbee was there, and he was like, oh my God. I started talking to them for ages. He's like, boys, just do whatever the fuck you want. It's all good. Have a good time. I'll see you at 4 a.m. Like, okay.
And he saw you at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's
Time to
so
go, guys.
sick. Oh, that is sick, man.
So good.
Oh, that's good. Well, good to see you back in the mixer, man. You feeling good now, man? Because you got a
Feeling
few
real good.
beers on you. What are we celebrating?
I'm getting married on Saturday.
Yes!
So really excited about that.
do it.
Serious.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Nah, man. Yeah, big
you go.
couple of weeks for you, Dal.
It's exciting, yeah. And then off on a honeymoon next week, so I'll be away next week down
Where
in
you
Byron
going?
Bay.
Byron.
Crystal Brook and Byron Bay,
Yeah,
just
nice.
relax, take it
Nice.
easy. Yeah.
Mrs.
Chill
and
out.
I haven't gone on our honeymoon yet. Can we come along? actually?
Absolutely. 2-bedroom, more than welcome.
Sick. She's
Yeah.
34 weeks pregnant, so
Perfect.
It's fine, mate. In,
could be ready to pop any time, but
in juicer. Sorry.
all right. Let's plow ahead. First and foremost, Argentina 26, Wallabies 41. This was an absolute hell of a match. Big second half from the Wallabies. Freeney, how good was this?
So bloody good. I'm very, very happy. I'm happy about the win. I'm happy about the All Blacks losing again. I'm just happy. You know what I mean? I go to work.
You look happy.
Mate.
You're
can
actually
tell by
beaming
that
with
erection.
sunshine.
Yeah. Seriously. I go to work. The Kiwis don't even look at me in the eye anymore. They're just like, welcome. It's-
The way it should be.
yeah, and it's just good. It's just, everyone's walking, with a bit of spring in their step, minus the Kiwis. So, mate, I'm just happy.
That was a game that
Of two halves.
a normal Wallabies team would have lost. They would have
Yes.
given up.
Yeah.
Quaid goes off. Reece Hodge has to go to 10. Let's give up. Too hard.
Yep.
But they, they stuck to it all game.
Exactly.
Which is against big Argy Bargy's team.
Yes. I mean, their back row,
Yeah.
Crema, or was it
Some big
Crema,
oos.
Lavanini, and Matera were
Big
causing
boys.
absolute mayhem.
Who's it? Who's that massive dude with the beard?
Crema.
Mate, he's
Yeah,
gigantic.
the number 7
Yeah.
who's built like a brick shithouse. But Das touched on Dallin, QC, ruptured Achilles tendon. Not good, especially at the age of 34.
40.
It is, and most guys, I think, get to that age and do an Achilles, and you probably think that's the end of their career. But if there's one guy, I feel like, who can probably come back from it, it's probably him, right? He's just, very, very
Definitely.
good. He gets stuck in, but it's a really tough injury. Like, I've seen blokes who are a lot younger than him take, 12 to 15 months to come back, and he's going to take his time, but obviously he's going to try and gun for that World Cup, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, Bobby Tuttle, I think, did it
He did
twice.
back
Did it
to back.
twice.
Did twice.
Do you reckon it had anything to do with his little calf tweaking the other day? I'm not a physiotherapist, but
I think definitely. Oh,
Yeah,
I
had
don't
more
know.
to
If it's the
maybe
same
stem.
leg, but potentially, like, he's overworking, I don't know.
I was gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted.
And it
Yeah.
looked like
He was-
nothing, right?
Yeah, and he's...
It's the ones that don't look like anything that are typically the worst. You don't react like that with no one touching you if something seriously
Yeah,
hasn't
exactly.
happened.
But not only that, he's just playing good footy as well. Like,
He was arguably the best for the Wallabies in that
Yeah.
first half alongside Bobby Valentini, who was sublime. Absolutely sublime.
He's been good all year, though, Valentini.
He has.
He's just continually trucking nut and just destroying people while doing it. So.
Exactly. He. I think Dow, you said earlier this year, he's probably the one player in the Wallabies you reckon is arguably the one that could become the one where we say he's the best in his position in the world.
Yeah, most definitely. I just think what he's adding at the moment is almost world class level. Like, he just keeps fronting up, he just keeps growing and developing as a player, and the way he carries the ball and his movement at the line is second to none. It's incredible. He's a big value for Australia.
He's so awesome. mate.
100% what you said, hey, like, every game he just gets better and better and better. And like, he's so big. He's so big and quick.
How good
Yeah.
was seeing Fraser grab his opportunity and that try he scored where he's
Yep.
just nuggeting in and just going over.
And nearly
Loved
well,
it.
if he gets that offload from Quaid, that
He
support
scores.
line, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, I've
He's
said
there.
it the whole time. His attacking play is so underrated.
Yeah.
He is so fast and he has such great hands. But the biggest news story coming out of that actually happened a day or two before. On the Friday before, Michael Hooper fronted his teammates and then announced that he will be flying home due to a lack of being able to get in the right mindset. So obviously some mental health concerns you'd have to say surrounding Michael Hooper, but Dow, it not only takes a huge set of cojones to sort of front up to your teammates, not sort of hide behind the veil of an injury or whatever it may be, but for the team then to come out and do what they did, that's pretty special stuff for Hoops.
Yeah, most certainly. I think if you saw what James Slipper said kind of post-game, do you know what I mean? That just summed it up beautifully. Like, they were all there for each other. They fronted up and then they got the job done. And Darcy made the point before, Australian teams quite often would fall in the back there and then just lose. But they just kept powering ahead. And they obviously wanted to win for Hoops. And Slips is doing a terrific job leading from the front.
He's the man. Mate, we're all thinking of Michael Hooper because I just think for someone of his ilk, for his stature, for a player of his ability, he is so highly revered for the game around the world, and for literally the leader for the better part of the last decade of the Wallabies to come out and say that he's struggling, that is immense. Absolutely immense, and I have nothing but love and respect for that. I think that's one of the greatest things that Michael Hooper could ever do. I know it's hard for him, but I just respect the hell of him for it.
It's just massive too. Like you said, the stigma behind sort of mental health and all that sort of stuff. Someone who plays 80 minutes week in, week out, captains Australia, and he's struggling. It's not one of those things where it's labelled to one person. I'm sure.
No. It doesn't discriminate.
No,
it doesn't matter who you are, what you do.
It's probably massive in the whole scheme of things across the board that he's done that, and kids will be like, "Whoa!"
That's it.
So it's awesome.
If someone as so highly respected and so tough can say that he's struggling,
it was like that UFC fighter the other week. I can't remember his name, the Pommy fella, who was saying, one of his best mates,
Paddy Pimblett?
Paddy Pimblett. And it helped so many people. So,
mate, if you're in trouble, speak up kind of thing,
100%. Yeah. I couldn't barrack harder enough for that. Box 26, I'll go to you with this one as well, Kill Switch. The Springboks 26, AB's 10. All Blacks coach Ian Foster came out and actually said probably their best performance of the year.
Who said that, mate?
Ian Foster.
Ian bloody Foster, mate. I tell you what, cuck performance. if you ask me, mate. Oh yeah. What did you learn about that besides you can't beat us? What is it? Nah. How good? No, mate. They're still doing some freaky stuff, the All Blacks.
They are.
They're freaks, but the bloody putting Malcolm Marx on is just a massive, big dick energy with South Africa because he just went on and just tore everyone up. He is insane. Those guys when they're on, it's so hard to beat them. They're just monsters as well. I think the All Blacks, their biggest issue, Dow, it seems, is they're a team of superstars, but they aren't a superstar team. And I think that comes down to things like selection, cohesion. It just seems off.
They just don't seem like they're playing together, right?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And that's what they've done in the past, you know what I mean? You had a lot of guys who did a lot of the shit, you know what I mean? And then you had the superstars who kind of finish things off. I don't think they're doing a lot of that small stuff, which I think is affecting them at the same time. But at the same time, if you look at it, is culturally there's something wrong? Do you know what I mean over there? You know what I mean? You look what happened a couple of weeks ago with, was it Justin Marshall? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Is he onto something? I don't know. Obviously
have they stopped cleaning the change rooms? Has that dropped off?
It's the only explanation.
There needs to be an investigation.
No, but it's sort of like the Wallabies, even a couple of years ago or whatever, where there was just that little thing missing. They're not getting those. No, about to have a fit. No, but they're just missing those. Usually you've got a break and there's a million people there from the All Blacks and all that sort of stuff, and there's just those little. It's like they're so stressed about losing or something.
Yeah.
These are the little things that they usually just know.
They're probably not used to this either because they've
No.
just been dominating
pressure's
the
on.
competition.
Yeah.
Hey, so they're just like, what is?
They've lost
this?
5 of their last 6 and have now dropped to 5th in the world rankings alongside
If
the
we-
Wallabies.
Wallaby
Yeah!
stats.
If we jump them,
Welcome
I'm just
to the
wearing.
bottom, boys.
Hey.
Um,
Bottom feet. Well, who was the tiny winger that was on Caleb Clark?
Curly Adrance there or whatever.
Mate, all over him. And Caleb Clark's like, obviously, he gets back in the team, pressure's on, and the Springboks go, let's do a high ball up to him.
Yeah.
They put on this tiny little speedster and comes like, I'm just going to run over him. Every time, got in his spokes.
Yeah.
Mate, it was...
Got any spokes?
yeah, just like, just jump in there and just fall, and we fell over.
Good to see the Springboks had their own Kirtley as well.
Right.
So hopefully he plays up just as good as Kirtley does off the field. 'Cause that'd be awesome.
Chester Colby's injured. I would find another one. Just chuck him on his
Yeah.
Just like,
Absolute gun. He ended up getting a 4-week suspension for his challenge on Bowden Barrett.
Mate, that was
Heavy.
horrendous.
That red
hey.
card when he's getting medically attended to, and then the ref's like, red card. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Angus
Wait till
Gardner
this-
was like about to walk straight over and he's like, I'll just let them tend to him first.
yeah.
just
Hook
chuck it
him.
right, mate.
Yeah.
You're all right. You're conscious. Yeah. See you, mate.
He's like, what colour is his card? It's like, red. He's like,
And
get
that
out
and Faf de Klerk getting absolutely KO'd in the first 5, 10, and still able to-
They've got depth for days,
man.
the Springboks, and you can't help but think that their movement into that northern hemisphere competition for club rugby seems to be paying off because they are
Big
ridiculous,
time,
mate.
hey. They just don't look like losing.
No.
Tell you what, that's the most confident I've been that we will win the rugby championship in a long time. I don't know why. I think it's because bro,
Say it. No, say it.
it's
Go on.
great because obviously we have South
Hear him
Africa
out.
over here, and New Zealand are just getting pumped over there. So I don't know. Hopefully, because they've got like arguably a shit culture now. New Zealand come over here just with plenty of head noise. We pump the Saffers over here. I'm confident. And I
I'm
think a
with
lot
you.
of people
Yeah.
are actually.
I'm with
Classic.
Classic.
Yeah, there we
Do
go.
we-
going all the way.
Are we getting the Bledisloe back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah! Stick that up your dojo.
And then just quit. Everyone quit. We're not playing
Yeah.
anymore after we get all the trophies
Yeah.
back.
Imagine
Oh,
the
mate.
bender after we get the bloody Bledisloe back. Like, that will just be shut down work for the week across the nation.
Oh,
because
mate.
we're partying.
That'll be the
100%.
J-Ball relapse tour. It's gonna be absolutely awesome, man.
Yes.
We heard it here first.
2.0. We saw down in the Shoot Shield. Glad Doss isn't here for this one. But Maxi Douglas picking up the Ken Catchpole medal as the player of the season. The second rower from the Tars played all but one game this year. Pretty meteoric rise for him. Last year getting the Tars Rookie of the Year. This year picking up the Ken Catchpole medal, but also off contract now. So, I mean, all things considered for the big man, it's a pretty bloody timely thing, and I think it is a sign of the class of Maxi Douglas.
Yeah, certainly. He's been instrumental down there for them.
Unbelievable.
And it's interesting, though, because they're still in the hunt for locks, right? So it's interesting that he is off contract and hasn't been re-signed. Someone who's playing that good of footy, who's only still very young, surely you'd think the Waratahs would be snapping him up.
But he's already said obviously hasn't been signed yet. There's chat that he's obviously looking elsewhere, as you can imagine. But, mate, he's been awesome for the better part of the last 24 months. So it seems a bit of a head scratcher. But I think he couldn't have done anything better but then go back to club rugby and
Just
do
kill
what
it.
he's done.
It's exactly what you want to do, right?
Absolutely massive. I'll run through the rest of the awards really quickly. Philly Bradford from the Hunter Wildfires, 17 tries for the Wildfires hooker this season, Pags. Don't you love it?
Hookers.
On the back of a forward pack with the likes of Josefa Tamani, Lona Halaholo, Donnie Freeman, mate, Rob Puliovea. Not a hard job being a hooker in that side. Reece McDonald gets the top point scorer from Gordon. Dave Conway, the top ref award.
Top ref.
Connor Hickey from the Rats. The Rats Junior.
That just fell out. That fell out. That's what I thought.
Mate, we had a ref on.
and it was good. We had good dialogue.
You're still giving him grief.
I've actually been
love-
thinking recently,
I
I
love
think
that.
I said on Facebook a year or two ago, I think I called Ben O'Keefe a coward and a dickless loser. And I feel really bad about it because we had Damon on.
Because he's
and-
not a coward.
No, well, it's bad to rag on refs. So, yeah, Ben O'Keefe, sorry. Connor Hickey gets Rookie of the Year. The Rats Junior, the fly half, was absolutely sublime this year for the Rats, getting them to 6 on the ladder, I think it was. So, good for a 10 to do that. And then the coaches. So, this one's a tricky one. So, we saw, it looks like it was a Norse bloke chirped up. So Bubba Coleman from the Hunter Wildfires shares the award with Sean Hedger from Sydney Uni. And look, I'm glad Bubba Coleman got it, but there was a comment today from a Norths bloke saying, like, yeah, good on the clearly Zach Beer, 32 or 33 years old, coaches Norths to a minor premiership. There are raps all over him in regards to how bloody good he is, and obviously he's got the runs on the board, but him not getting it can be considered a bit of a slap in the face, considering, as this guy says, Hunter went from ninth last year to ninth this year, and then Sean Hedger, a former professional coach, gets Sydney Uni, who were killing it last year, to second. So, makes a point, Dow, but I don't know. Like, Bubba Coleman, I love that he's got it.
I think it's a fair point, right?
It is a fair point.
Shane was like, I love that he got it.
I love that Bubba Coleman got it. So Bubba Coleman, like, they only came ninth despite having more wins than East. And I understand that's the quirk of the draw in regards to, I think East had 17 bonus points and Hunter Wildfire had 11. So that's ultimately, it's their fault for not scoring enough points to get in bonus points or whatever it may be. And that's just a quirk of how the system is set up. But the recruitment they've done, the wins they've got, they got wins against Manly Marlins twice, Sydney Uni, Randwick. Like, he's done some good things there. So I can understand Bubba Coleman getting it. For mine, Sean Hedges is a head scratcher, and Zach Beer not getting it.
I think Zach Beer out and out is by far the most deserving of that award.
Me too. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he's done with North.
Yeah.
And look, they're looking like the best team in the competition.
Yeah.
They're coming good at the right time. Finals round 1, like
most consistent team all season.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I said that from the get-go. Zach Beer deserved to be.
I like it. I like the passion, Dal. That was good.
Finally, some
glad
passion.
Doss is not here. Doss will just be like,
I don't know. Bubba Coleman and Hunter was doing some good things. Sean Hedger.
You got a soft spot for Bubba, right?
I do.
Because it's an uphill battle.
Yes.
He's out there. He started the team.
He's shoveling shit uphill and he's doing some bloody good things.
100%.
Sean Hedger, I do not get. I don't get that one. Like,
neither, man.
Anyway, we move
to
on.
be honest, man, you coach Sydney Uni to second on the ladder.
I just want J-Ball to say something he'll regret. Go on, say it.
Let your heart out.
Don't make me start, man.
There it is.
All right, then. Nemani Nadolo signed with the Tars.
Yes.
Klutz, how good is this?
Mate, ridiculously good. I'm so keen to see the big man back on the wing in like Aussie rugby. So I think it's good. To be able to mentor some of the younger fellas down there for the Waratahs. But I was just saying, I can't wait to sit there and just watch him run over little people. Like, that's what I'm most excited for, personally.
Just hopefully not against the Reds.
Yeah, no. Oh,
No,
honestly,
Let him go.
no, you know what? Let him do what he wants to do.
Show's a show.
I'm actually frustrated.
I'm not going to tell him otherwise because he absolutely destroy me. So he can do what he wants, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm very keen to see him back in Oz rugby.
Well, Dal, you went to school with him. I think we've spoken about this off air, and like, I'll happily say, like, out of everyone, like, he was good at school, but in a side that, like, he was playing inside Will Chambers, and there was always chat that, like, I always thought, I was like, you know, he did have some deficiencies in his game for a bloke of his size, and it took him a long time to find his feet because he was at the Tars in 08, and everyone in that nudgy side, I thought Nems had the potential, but from the looks of it, probably wasn't going to go on to fulfill it, but it took him a long time, but he is now arguably one of the greatest footy players in the world.
Absolutely. Obviously, he's getting to the back end of his career, but what he's done
is phenomenal.
Nothing short of outstanding. And
it took him some time. It wasn't until
correct
2014 where
he
he
didn't
found
play
his way
game for
back
the
at
Waratahs, right?
No.
And that, it pisses me off that he didn't, like, that someone just didn't see this talent and just go, like, he needs.
They weren't able.
He needs a bit of a massage to get to where he. Mate, he was at Canterbury. He was the best winger at the time. Like, he was ridiculous.
Led the competition.
He can drop the bloody ball on his foot. Like, mate, he's insane.
But this was the thing. Like, I can attest. Like, he was huge at school. He was great. He was so skillful for a bloke of his size. But I think he was
lacking a bit.
Yeah, he was lacking in regards to really use that size to his advantage.
Yeah, I don't think he ever realised how big and how fast and how strong he was.
Because he was insanely skillful.
Off no tee.
Yes,
do you remember
he was
BBC?
insanely skillful.
Off no tee.
Yeah.
Boost.
But I think that was his thing. I think when he was a bit younger, he was like, he was maybe more concerned with the ability of being able to have this skill set that was really great. But then it wasn't until obviously he went through I think he went through that TARS Academy and then obviously got booted from that, went to Japan, then found himself in France or something.
He
And then,
started scoring like 6 tries a game in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah,
and
he
that's the
was
thing.
like-
And then he realised, there was...
wait a second.
So he's...
Wait a second.
and it took him 6 or 8 years to really develop
100%.
how he can play with such size and such skill, and then he married them together, and mate, he is phenomenal.
I heard, I'm not sure if this is right, but I heard when they're kicking the ball behind him, that was sort of an issue because he was so big. Like, mate.
Like a truck turning around.
Yeah, it's just, but you see a raw talent like that, you just nurture it. You just try and make it work. In my opinion, he wasn't that bad of a guy. We know him, we knew him. Anyway.
I also heard that he'll be volunteering at Sydney Private Hospital in the just his thoughts on broken bones and stuff. Was it him that broke his arm?
No, that was Waisaki Naholo broke his leg.
Not him then. Different guy.
I
was wondering where on earth you were going.
I was like, what is that? It's racist.
Wait, no, hold on. We're close. It's pretty close.
Naholo went for New Zealand, mate.
So he thought you were talking about...
No. No, you're the guy.
He thought you were talking about Naholo?
No. This is one of those nudgy guys that's meant to be now 30-something, but really he's 43. You know what I mean?
You don't dig upwards, mate. Just stop.
No, I'm going up to Zal now. Right? I'm hitting out at anyone. I just thought it was...
He's your biggest fan. Don't start with him.
Yeah, man. But I did hear that
there we go.
he was coming back to play for Jeeps
Mate, he's going to finish that.
next year. Yeah.
Friday nights.
Absolutely.
Fuck, see?
Friday
nights at
I'm
Jeeps.
coming back out of retirement again.
Yeah, God. We'll believe that when we see it. But
Mate,
see if your body holds up.
I've got a story.
Oh, sweet.
I was playing, it was all good. I'm got my hamstrings recovering.
You playing tomorrow?
No, mate, just listen. I went to training with Issy last
This
night.
is a 4K run story.
No, I went to training with Issy last night. No joke. It was dad's versus kids warm-up touch. And, of course, I'm just down the sideline. Issy's coming across. I'm like,
Oh, no.
I totally forgot about it.
Oh,
Now it
no.
hurts again.
No, you'll be right. Strap her up and just...
I thought you were going to say Izzy was coming. You just
chopped him.
Yeah.
Like the Boris Johnson treatment to your kid.
Alrighty, well that rounds out PAC News. Now joining us on the blower, we have the golden girl herself, Demi Hayes. Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. Yes, Demi. Thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations. How does it feel getting that Commonwealth gold?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's nice to be home, be able to celebrate with a bunch of friends and family. But after winning it, we kind of got kicked out of the village pretty quickly, and now we're back home in Sydney.
Why'd you get booted out? What, as in just the turnover thing, or were you playing up a bit too much and trashing the place?
No, we actually didn't get a chance to play up at all. So, yeah, we just had to get out of our rooms, other athletes, to get back in.
What an absolute stinger.
That sucks. I thought that's what everyone goes to get gold for. Hey, it's just like the after party. So.
All right, now get out.
I know. We weren't even allowed out of the village. So that obviously made the celebrations a bit more tame.
Crikey.
Jesus.
What about since you got back, Dem? What have you guys been up to? Obviously been on the media train, but what else has been happening? You guys been celebrating? How's it all going? You got the World Cup coming up. You know what I mean? Is it kind of business as usual? You've had the ability to go and celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, we actually had probably 4 to 5 days off training, which was really nice. So a few of us had a bit of a party on Friday night, and then we got together as a group and had a long lunch on Sunday for another celebration with the girls that didn't come. So that was really nice to have a bit of a drink up with the whole entire squad that kind of played a big part in it. And then, as you said, we've got World Cup coming up. So we've got about 4 to 5 weeks of training before then.
And it's been a pretty remarkable year so far. Obviously, you've won the World Series. You've gone ahead now and won the Commonwealth Games gold. How are you guys feeling moving into this World Cup? You've beaten New Zealand almost every time you've played them. It's been pretty special. How's the group feeling and you know what I mean? How's it all kind of going?
Yeah, really good. I think obviously getting the World Series under our belts was really exciting, gave us a lot of confidence leading to the Com Games, and getting that gold medal again will only give us more confidence. The World Cup's only 4 games, so the way the games kind of roll is a bit different, but we've got a few easy pool games and then it's knockout from there. So I think we'll take a heap of confidence into it, but not be too complacent at the same time.
Hey, Demi, Big fat Darcy here. I've got a three-part question for you. First part, are you wearing your medal at the moment? If not, 2, why not? And 3, where are you going to put your gold medal?
No, I'm not wearing it. It's hanging on my bookshelf. I get to look at it lots, so I don't actually wear it all the time, but I get to look at it. And the third one, I'm not sure. My mum actually asked if she could frame it, but I said that I might have to keep it for a little bit longer before she takes it and puts it in her house. So
Gotcha.
I'll let her do that in a little while.
Love it.
What's with Timmy Walsh? He seems like a bit of a wizard. How has he got the girls, the mojo back to that confident sort of style of play you guys at the last Olympics and all that?
I think a lot of our cohesions come mainly off the field. He's a big person in putting a lot of effort in spending time together, getting to know each other. Even though obviously we've been friends way before Tokyo, but I think putting a lot of time and effort into each other before we come and perform on the field. And we all love each other. We're such a close-knit family. So when it came to playing, we played for each other. We played for our families, and we actually knew a lot more about each other. So I think he's massive on that. We go out to dinner a lot. We celebrate a lot more than I think we ever used to. So when, we win, we lose, we draw, we always celebrate that as a group. So then we can move on. So that's been a big part in our success, I think.
Well, I want to ask as well, we were discussing, I think, last week when we were celebrating you guys bagging the gold. There was the highs of the Olympic gold for, what was it, 6 years ago, and then the disappointment from the last Olympics as well as the last Com Games. You girls probably didn't perform as well as you guys would have liked considering the high expectations you have. Was that a really big driving force for such a young squad, so many new players, to really cultivate some momentum off the disappointment from the last couple of games?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Obviously, I came in post Rio, so our success since then until now hadn't been necessarily very good. So 2018, obviously getting silver, everything like that, I think we really taught the younger girls that hadn't been involved in that, the disappointment, and they've obviously experienced losses, but at a home games, that was pretty disappointing. So I think everyone understood where we're at and what we wanted to do. And after winning a lot of the World Series tournaments and winning the whole entire World Series, that gave everyone confidence. And I don't think we really looked back at the disappointment, but we looked forward to what we can do and what we could succeed with this group, I think.
And I want to ask as well, is there chat around doing the whole golden year? You've got the World Series, you've got the Commonwealth Gold, you've got the World Cup coming up next month. Do the girls sort of talk about, potentially having this wondrous year of success, or is it just business as usual?
I think with our group, we're quite a chill group, so we don't necessarily speak about it too much. Within the coaching staff and the leaders, we definitely do, and we speak about how much this is so important to us. And, we could get the 3 in a row, which is obviously so important for our women's program. It's so important for the sport in general, and sharing that, rugby sevens, women's rugby sevens is so important. But as a whole, I don't think we really speak about it, but I think we kind of have gone back to work as usual with training and stuck to what we're doing. But I think as we get closer, we'll definitely speak about it and make sure that everyone's very aware. And it's so doable for us at the moment to achieve. So that's even more exciting.
Klutzy, I think, has a question for you, Demi. Klutzy?
Yeah, apparently I do. No, I was just going to say, just on the women's program there, do you guys have any up-and-comers that are pushing to get into that squad that could potentially get in there for the World Cup that's coming up, or, just anyone on the rise over the next year that could be coming into that squad with you guys?
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We've had 3 to 4 Queensland girls come down to Sydney and kind of been part of our Com Games campaign. And then a few Sydney girls as well. But I don't think anyone that will be able to come and play at the World Cup. That's obviously a big step up from just being a development player. But I think the development within the team at the moment is going really good. And you saw Jessie Southwell, a 17-year-old, do so well and perform so well at such a young age. So we're definitely getting those development girls coming up to perform at a high level.
I just want to ask real quick, Demi. How terrifying is it training against Maddie Levi, the Fendi Queen? Because she has an ability to leap people with a stiff arm that I haven't seen in a bloody long time. Is she, like, so daunting to have to train against day in, day out?
To be honest, we're really lucky, but she only really pulls it out on her opposition.
What?
She's pretty tame with us. So to be fair, she doesn't actually practice it too much. She just is a great performer on the world stage and can do it every single time. So I'm really lucky she's on our team. That's for sure.
Bloody oath.
Isn't it funny that like everyone knows it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's just like
It still happens.
See ya.
You can see them chasing her down like,
she's going to fend me. She's going to fend me. Oh, she's fended.
Oh, mate, she
Every
is an absolute
time.
beast. She is an absolute beast.
And for you, Dem, obviously a bit of a different year, getting the captaincy. How's that been for you? There's a responsibility change, you know what I mean? Do you feel like you've had to bring more to the group? Has your game changed at all, or has it just kind of been, you know what I mean, just getting out there and doing your thing?
Yeah, Dale, a little bit different, as you said. You know, being a leader is quite different to just being a part of the group. But I think I've very much stuck to what I've always done and leaded by example. So I guess that's what I stand by. If I go play well, train well, set an example on and off the field, then the girls will follow me. And having Charlotte there as a co-captain is also really good because she sets very different standards on the field. She's the big talker, obviously an amazing player that I probably can't really relate to too much, being a forward and a back. But I think my roles pretty much just stayed the same. I just like to set an example and go play my best footy so other girls can do the same.
And are you enjoying the leadership role?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been different. It's obviously a little bit more work and we have a lot of meetings and stuff like that we obviously never used to, but I'm definitely really enjoying it. And it's nice to have girls back you in that position as well and have, as I said, Charlie as a co-captain and then Shani Williams, who's the OG of the whole entire game, and then Maddie Ashby coming through. Because
Jabor struggles to be our captain and leader as part of our team. I raised it last week, but are shin splints a thing, or is it just us big boys using it as an excuse to not do any fitness? Because you girls must do a lot of running, a lot of fitness, a lot of work in your boots, and as soon as we rock up on a Tuesday night, the shin splints really flare up, and I don't want to do any coat hangers. Does anyone pull the shin splints excuse out at training?
Yeah, for sure. To be
they
honest,
do?
I reckon 50% of the girls have them at the moment.
Okay.
So it's not just you, promise.
All right. Okay.
Have you got the bloody career savers on, the old ASICS career savers? Because they do wonders
What
for
are
me.
they?
Yes, they are good, aren't they?
What?
Yeah, you know the
Asics
sand shoe
sand
one.
shoes.
Oh,
But the boot version.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll cure your
Career
shin
savers.
splits.
A bit high on the ankle too for that rolling ankle.
Should be
It's
a
good
staple at your age, Dallas.
Yeah, mate. I don't know why you don't have a pair for black dogs, mate.
And they got lifts? Yeah.
And something we chatted about, you know, when we get a lot of players on is we see a lot of what happens on the field. So you get a lot of the girls, obviously, who are successful on the field and your star players. But for you girls, when you celebrate, who are the girls who kind of stand out a bit? Who are the girls who, you know what I mean?
Good question,
Who
Alan.
are the best off the field? Because we quite often don't get to see that, right?
Look, I often say you could guess, but a little bit of insight. Charlotte's obviously, she can go all night. Anyone who wants to stick it to her often ends up in bed very early. Maddie Levi's another good one. She can party on the field. Faith Nathan also. So the two wingers probably take the cake there.
Nice.
Interesting.
Bloody wingers.
Yeah.
Hey, Demi, is Dom 2 Toy as big a kook as it comes across as?
Yes, 100%. I don't know whether you've seen, but she has an Instagram page called Dom de Twat. It explains itself. She only follows people she likes and knows, so you'll have to see she'll give you a follow back. But she is hilarious, and she keeps us very entertained on tour.
Bless her. And she had a little cameo on Neighbours earlier this year as well, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she was on a few years ago, and that's if you have any acting connections, she'd love to go to Hollywood, and that's her next dream. So if you can just slot her in, feel free to.
Hell yeah, we'll have to get her on the show. Get her on the Battlers
You
bench.
will. She's a classic.
Oh, bloody oath, man, because she seems like an absolute kook, and I love it. Love it so much. And as well, I mean, arguably you and your partner Simon are one of the golden couples of Australian rugby. The other one's just over here on the battlers bench, Big Fat Das and Ryan Freeney. But
Potato and gravy.
Potato and gravy, as we like to call them. He's obviously playing on the Sting. Playing on the Sting for Sydney Uni this year. He stepped back from the Sevens program, giving the 15s a crack. You must be excited to see him doing pretty bloody well on a side that finished second on the ladder going in the finals this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's exciting. I've obviously never played 15s, but it's very exciting for him to go away from sevens and try and get into the 15s game again. And obviously Sydney Uni are a very professional group, and he's been doing really well with them. So hopefully they get the win this weekend and have a weekend off, and we'll see them in the finals.
Hopefully not. I mean,
J-Boy just rinsed the coach like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sydney Uni. Not a fan of Uni of Queensland.
But
either.
you're a fan of Simon.
I'm a big fan of Simon Kennewell. Yes, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
not his name. Oh my god. I'm just joking.
That's all you need to know.
Sorry, I'm a big fan of Simon, just not Sydney Uni. Well, it's not like that's news. Come on, guys. But Demi, wonderful to talk to you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Again, congratulations on gold at the Com Games. We are absolutely chuffed and blown away with the successes of the women's program over the last 12, 18 months. And it is just desserts to see you girls back in the winners' podium wearing gold around your neck once again. And we'll be wishing you all the best at the World Cup next month. So thanks very much for tuning in.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Bless you. Thanks, Demi. Demi Hayes, everybody. Bless you, Demi.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Gotta love her. That was awesome. And was that a bit towards just ragging on Sydney Uni like that?
No, it's fine.
I don't think it's...
You've done it.
yeah.
So.
I think you're allowed to bag on any uni team, to be honest.
No, you're not. They are awesome.
Thank you very much, Klutzy.
That's all right.
I know I got you in for a reason.
For that, mate.
But Demi Hayes, man, she is an absolute gun. Absolutely love her. She's
Delightful.
just what? She went to what? She's Toowoomba girl, isn't she?
Toowoomba girl, yeah.
Yep, and then just
Grew up in the cattle property.
killing it.
Done a terrific
Absolute
job.
gun.
Injury ridden for the first couple of
Yes.
years. She kind of was in and
Yep.
out, in and out. Obviously went to the Olympics last year, and then on the back of that, she's just been sensational. She's the captain of the side, and she's just a really good human being, and just obviously loves doing what she's doing.
She was very lovely.
She seems
Yeah.
like she'd be a great captain.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask if she had any like weird things she does, like just the handshakes, bum taps. I chickened out. I'll be honest, I didn't want to stuff another question up. I've got anxiety.
I love how we
Klutzy,
threw
he was
Klutzy-
clutch.
Yeah, we
See
threw
what I mean?
Klutzy
I've
under
lost
the
my
bus.
job. He's blacked out, and he's just like, brilliant.
yeah. It was actually funny because he asked the question, then it cut to Demi. You just see Clutch straight away, just grab a beer, delete half of it.
I'm not going to listen to the answer.
Yeah, pretty standard. Absolutely nailed it. Demi Hayes, gotta love her. Now it's time for the Battlers Bench.
Boom.
That's you and I. That was a little bit of a photo sesh we did a couple of weeks ago. We finally clipped it together on TikTok.
Do you have a TikTok?
I do.
Really?
Gonna get Gout. Goutmaster 888.
Goutmaster.
8 is a lucky Chinese number.
It is.
I guess we're gonna do it. How about we? It's all. Let's try and. It's all about trying to improve rugby, right?
Yes.
Let's try and improve the current game. Now, and let's borrow from other sports and what they've done. What about this new type of commentating, right? What about we get a couple of blokes at the footy with a beer in their hand, chirping at kickers, chirping at wingers down on the bit wearing gloves or no gloves, right?
Lack of gloves.
So this is something that has been popping up on Facebook and stuff.
Okay.
This is just some chirping at the tee.
Oh, the Glue Factory innovators.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got Goldman hacks. I can tell you're colorblind just by your outfit coordination.
CEO of Hooters. How are you not canceled?
You look like Brooks, who grew up on food stamps.
Not a sponsor exemption, but a brother exemption.
I'm glad your pants are hiked up high enough for when the ball goes in the water. That's nice. It looks like God just ashed his cigar in your face. I got here. Great value, Adam Scott.
Tom Cruise looks like
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
this guy definitely picks up girls at pet shops.
You look like the F1 driver's boyfriend.
That one got him.
Brilliant. That is sick.
As I think Friends, as you just said, that's what the glue factory's been doing
Oh,
for years.
yeah, years, mate.
Just chirping on that. Remember they had couches down on the sideline?
Yeah, man,
Like,
it gets a little bit
God,
heated
it was
there.
getting
It's
hectic.
actually, not going to lie, we used to
It
get
used
the
to.
program
definitely-
before the game and go through the
Ah.
opposition
Yeah.
team list and do a bit of research on Facebook and Insta to
Yeah.
find out stuff about them.
Yeah.
Just broken up with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, that's tough.
Glue,
Boy.
Glue Factory was a bit quiet on the weekend, but what's your
Yeah.
next segment, Das?
So, boys, the next segment, I think we've gone away from recovery a bit too much in our rugby. We need to get more boys in our budgies back into the recovery pool. Make sure just lads on lads on lads, and just get in there and get amongst it and do a few moves.
Just some stretches. Roll the hips.
Rolling
Push.
it. Oh,
Right.
boss. You know what I mean? Can't do that.
Right?
Right on his feet. Oh, push kick.
Quade Cooper could do this, right? Down at the Valley Pool. His
got a better
Achilles
body
wasn't
than me.
gone. Look how high those.
We actually just.
Wait, he just made up. It was just
Yeah, that was
improv.
perfect.
Get the
I
ball.
blacked
go.
out. I blacked out. I'm
Was that
inspired
Nick
by
Phipps?
Josh.
Thank you.
Fipsy.
That was Fipsy.
Sitting on the bench. Now, I was going through the Eka show bag list.
Okay.
There's 8 AFL show bags. There's all 16 rugby NRL show bags, plus Queensland, plus New South Wales. There's a soccer one, the Socceroos, I think. And there's 0 rugby show bags.
No.
Zero.
No.
Fat donut.
Can I just say that's disgusting that there's 16 NRL teams? At
What,
least
just
have
in general in the
Queensland
competition
team.
or show
Well,
bags?
a bit of both. the show bags, like.
Right, all of them. Right. So what we thought we'd do. Oh well, for starters, let's have a look at a classic show bag ad for one of the footy teams.
Hey, don't miss out this year. Be early for your Broncos and Crushers show bag. In the
good
Broncos
stuff.
bag, there's a Powerade sports
You get
bottle,
all the good stuff.
Coca-Cola, Daydawn chocolate muesli bar, a football and footy
Daydawn chocolate
in a Broncos giant-sized sports bag.
People buy it.
That's a great
That'll last a good
Crushers
months.
t-shirt. It's so good.
Breaker-flavoured milk voucher, embroidered Crushers cap, also
Milk
discount games
voucher.
and rides. Don't miss them at the Eka Footy Show stand.
I love that the Broncos bag is a legit duffel bag.
Yeah, you can tell
And
what the
Crushers
Crushers-
is just a plastic bag full of
Yeah.
shit.
Maybe
can
they
tell
put,
the Crushers
they
were
put it in
folding
the
at the
t-shirt.
time.
They tie the sleeves together, and as you walk along, and all drops out. Mom. So what we thought we'd do is we thought we'd compile what the perfect Australian rugby show bag should be.
Yeah. So I'll start with the positives. We've got a pair of RM Williams.
Oh, that's good.
A puffer vest, as you can
Yes.
see.
That's
what we're
RM
wearing
Williams
tonight.
Also.
Classic
A bit of sugarcane champagne, a little Bundy rum cane, you know what I'm saying? And some men's Harlequin Canterbury's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
like it. That's
with
good.
with pockets.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
them?
pockets.
Oh,
Some guy probably
bring them back.
Some guy broke his thumb. Oh, now we can't wear pockets anymore. God, you got that mouth guard pocket. You're like, I'm gonna in there. Go with a tape measure as I'm doing Reno's.
You leave your mouth. You leave your mouth guard in there, in the wash.
Put in the dryer and you're like, what is that? And then also what we have in there is an ice cold can of refreshing hope. But check the can because by the end of the season it'll all run out. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. There will be no grassroots. Absolutely no grassroots. I promise you that. If you want grassroots, go to Nimbin. Right?
No, I know what you're saying.
That's it. And then, and that's it. All for $180.
Yeah, the low price.
Yeah, low price, $180. Just
Or zip pay 50
all you
bucks
gotta
a
do
game.
is show your GPS school ID.
Yep.
And
Wear
you're
your
allowed
blazer.
to buy it and your blazer. Senior jersey. And then we thought we'd start popping up with some memes or some PAC memes that have been popping up. This one was earlier on in the week. This is the Eddie public shame. Eddie Jones blames the public school system for not producing players who have the skill and resolve to play rugby at the highest level. Just discuss.
Disgusting.
J-Bor, do you think that's true? Do you think that that it's on the public schools for not for not creating the players?
I think he was talking in regards to the UK, but I
He
think
was.
it's
Which is their private school.
well, yeah,
Yeah, which is their private school.
and it's well, I mean, yeah, the whole. What are we doing here?
So it's not his fault. It's the school's fault.
It's the school's fault.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
why.
No. Well, we can sit here and wax lyrical all day about the fact that it is a travesty in regards to the lack of public school initiative from rugby in Australia to get behind public schools. It's ridiculous.
Silly sausages comes to mind. It's a word.
It's ridiculous,
words.
mate. It is insane. It is so insane to think that we have.
They're only
what?
like the biggest schools in the state, in the country, you know?
Oh, mate.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy, mate. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, why we aren't investing
Why
in
aren't
the
we
public school
poaching
system?
League talent.
Send Creepy Wayne.
Just joking.
Send Creepy Wayne around there, right? In his van.
Yeah.
His Dolphins van.
Why
Oh.
are we talking about poaching league talent?
We shouldn't.
Well, no, with blokes.
I did.
who,
Freeney brought it
who
up.
haven't even showed any type of interest in playing rugby union.
No, we
Like
shouldn't.
Matt
do
This is
that.
Bird,
Darcy.
great.
Darcy.
Like,
So I'm
who
gonna
cares?
throw
I'm
him
talking
in this.
about just get involved in the public school
No,
system.
I'm just having a crack at Freeney.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll jump on the
How am I getting in trouble for this? I didn't even make this.
How's your hammy, mate? Am I right? Look at this guy.
No, but it is a serious indictment in the leadership of the game when we have almost zero representation outside of 16 schools in 2 states.
Geez, J-Ball takes Battler's Bench very seriously, doesn't he? Right? We're just joking around. Just messing around, bro. Players out, Zaggy. Players out. Players out. Push it back. Battler's Bench.
Boom.
Thank you. Back to you, J-Ball.
All right, thanks, guys. Another battler's bench done and dusted.
I reckon that was 90%.
Man, I've got to stop.
In fact, I didn't read that meme that Tino sent me properly. That's what probably got
I
it,
couldn't
to
see
be honest.
it.
I
I
was
was trying
like,
to read it going.
and I was like,
I'm done. I can't even actually read it.
Let's plow ahead.
discuss. Because I was leaning in to read it so hard, I actually wasn't taking in any of the words. And I'm like,
Darcy's
J-Ball, you take this
living
one.
rent-free in your head again, J-Ball.
Oh,
We win.
man, I hate
He wasn't
it.
even meant to show up, right?
Yeah.
And he comes in and goes, I literally know nothing. I go,
Surprise.
even if you were here an hour before, you'd know nothing anyway. So
Let's plow ahead. Let's put that in the rearview mirror. Now it's time. We saw Hospital Cup round 15 done and dusted. Only 3 rounds to go, but we saw Norths go down 26-43 to Sunnybank. UQ just squeaking past East 27-26. You'd have to say East have probably shown the door in regards to finals
is that
as a
why
result.
Doss isn't here?
Yeah,
That's probably why.
these dog ass, mate. Souths 23, Bond 47. Bond again putting on an absolute clinic of attacking rugby. But this one, Jeeps 22, West 34. Klutz, how good was this?
Oh, it's pretty shit.
What game are you watching?
Well, as described by most people down at Jeeps, it was we were beaten by a club full of Magoos. So yeah, it really hurts a little bit. But
Yeah, you were beaten.
Yeah.
Pretty comprehensively,
Oh,
too.
don't you get on the coattails now, mate. All you do is bag them out.
Yeah, you
What are you
ragged
talking about? I love the doggies.
We're going to go all the way.
I threw a bit of bait out to LV during the week. I had a chat to him. I was like, "Oh, so how's the West Rebels going, mate?" He's like, "What do you mean, mate? There's only a couple of players have come up, and the rest are all organically from West."
Well, this is,
And I'm like, "Got him! I got him!"
Yeah, well, that's actually
Didn't even
the
need to
thing.
put Buddy Biltong on the bait. You know what I mean?
That's actually the thing about this West side is there's been so much chat about the guys like Carlos Ilov, Jordan Walesi coming back, but it's guys like David Vaihu,
He's good. He's a
freak,
Fletcher
man. He's
Spicer.
good.
He was
Fletcher
awesome
Spicer,
too,
Sal Vaihu, the second rower, has been absolutely phenomenal.
Is he related to Glenn and David?
Yeah, so there's Glenn, David, Sal, and there's another one.
Sal's a
Halle.
brother.
Yes.
Big Freddie
Wow.
Bird. Go, Freddie.
And then there's
Where's-
Sal has been phenomenal this year.
Where's
for
he
the
been?
Doggies. He only came
been
out
there a
of
bit.
Colts last year and was
He's
playing
played
a
all
bit
year.
of Rezzies.
He's played. He's
But
played
the thing is, he has been absolutely phenomenal in regards
Oh,
to
he
his
has been.
progression and growth. And I was talking to Chips Blanche about it, and he just said it looks like he's now. There's nothing better than seeing a bloke that size who knows how to use his size, and he gets around so bloody well. But it's guys, as I was saying, it's not the big names that have been standing up. It's guys like Fletcher Spicer.
I love Fletcher Spicer.
It's guys like
good, hey.
Sal Vaihu, Harry Higgins, Ethan
Yep.
Dominant.
Harry Higgins.
Connor Anderson
Connor
has
Anderson's
been
a weapon,
in
bro.
career best
Narvo.
form. Narvo, like these are the guys that have actually been building this premiership looking season. Like this side is looking awesome because of these blokes. So
Yeah, that's shocking to see. There.
Wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened in 2018. That would have got a penalty. Would have kicked
no,
me
but
out
it
of
happened
some-
last weekend. So
Yeah.
suck a fat one.
Seeing,
I'm unbiased now.
seeing Elof in open space, actively panicking when he's like running down the sideline. Fucking love that.
Oh, mate, absolutely awesome. And Carter Gordon is finding that form he's shown. He tends to
He
show at the
plays
back
so
end of the
flat,
season.
and yeah.
He's so good, man.
Can he just be given a crack full time in Super Rugby
just give him- just
become
give
the
him some
Wallabies
weeks.
10 or something?
Yeah.
That kid's a freak, man.
Mate, he is.
He's awesome.
I'm a massive believer.
But
I'm a
look,
massive-
going into this week, this was always a worry game for me because of the head noise that we gave you guys from pumping you last year in the finals at Jeeps. So like, there's no way that West weren't going to get up for it. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's probably the loss that we need coming into
Yeah,
finals.
100% Klutz.
Whatever
a couple
helps you
weeks
sleep at night,
less.
Clutzy.
Well, there's a lot more that does.
Genuine question. Those jerseys.
I'm not. I reckon it was the jerseys.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like them.
So,
I
like
them.
Like them?
Mate, I heard during the week, you had to go. You have like your away strip and shit. Apparently, because you guys have a dark green away strip, we had to wear a white jersey because we're blue and green.
So we made you look that terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Horizontal stripes and white. I
Mate,
would have looked like an absolute bird.
All the talk around the club, and I think you're onto it. All the talk around
All the green and
all
the blue
the
and
lower
that.
grade boys was, what is this white jersey that's coming out later on today?
Yes.
And I just think the jersey's absolutely rocked us. We need to go back to our roots, which is green and blue. And
Well, that's sweet because you won't be playing West in the finals anyway, so it'll be all good.
That's all right.
Just like
Because
the
if you
Black
guys
Dogs like they're
lose,
playing in the sixth
because
grade
if you
finals
guys
this year.
lose,
No, hold on. If we win by bonus point, right? And statistically, if
I had
16
a look
lose,
today.
it's not looking good.
Yeah, but
it's not looking good, Brev.
No.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
If West don't win the comp,
Yeah,
Here we go.
they'll never win the comp.
No,
Yeah.
no, 100. No, you're right, mate. The
Mate,
depth-
honestly,
the
if
depth
they
they've
don't
got-
if they don't win the comp with
Yep.
this team,
Yep.
Agreed, mate.
you'll be just
it's like a
languishing
once in
for
a once in a sort of thing depth.
It's
that
the
you've
the
got,
team
you
is
know.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good.
Like
team.
in every single position, like you've just got guys who are either super experienced at a Premier Grade level or are super rugby guys.
Yeah. Or they have, and it's the guys that have worked their way up.
peaking at the
Fletcher
right.
Spicer has gone from a Colts 3 premiership at Wynnum Bugs to being arguably the best centre in the competition on his day.
I keep forgetting
Like-
about him, and then I always just see him carve. I'm like,
Who's this guy?
just that Fletcher Spicer guy.
Yeah. and mate, and the thing is, it's guys like him, Liam Usher, Ethan Dobbins, who
Dobbins,
probably
mate.
have the most right to piss and moan
Yeah.
about these players coming back and talking to blokes down at the club. They're the guys who rock up to training, put in the effort, and are actually keeping Wallabies on their toes. Like, that right there is what makes a bloody championship side. So as you
100%.
said, Dalen, if they don't win it, with the guys coming back, with the culture they've cultivated over the last 3 seasons, and guys like Elvie coming into the mix and Cassidy Holland now in the mix coaching, like, mate, you have a bloody good setup that really should pay dividends.
Yeah.
And please, doggies, do it for me because otherwise I'm going to shave my beard off. And
Oh, yeah.
I look like I got the weirdest shaped testicle head, man.
And then you got to eat it. Isn't that what you? I thought that's.
Anyway, Shoot Shield, round
look like a
18,
testicle
final
with
round of the
teeth.
season. We saw the ladder get locked away heading into the finals. 2 Blues 14, Eastwood 38. Manly going down to uni 24-20. West Harbour getting up over the Rats 31-22 at home. Randwick 41-31 over South. Gordon going down by a point in the 83rd minute to the Hunter Wildfires. 26-12 at the half and
Coach of
coming
the year,
away
baby.
27-26. Bubba Coleman doing it well there.
Boom.
But the game we need to discuss, obviously, North 32, East 29. Brilliant game of footy. And this game it highlights exactly why North ended the season on top of the table, because when it comes crunch, they deliver. Like, they are just classy and they are strong and they are committed. Like, they just, when they need to win, they find a way to win.
They certainly do. Obviously, Zach Beers had an instrumental influence there, but I love the Bury brothers.
Max and Harry.
Far out, man.
Awesome.
10-12. Like, they've been absolutely outstanding for them. They're leading from the front. They're doing a terrific job in getting these guys. And I reckon that North will win the comp this year.
Yeah, mate, that you'd have to agree. I mean, they're absolute superstars. East were probably the form team of the competition coming into this round, hence why they pushed them all the way to the very end. But touching on the Bury brothers, I mean, they lost Angus Sinclair only 10 minutes or so into the game. Their talismanic fly half, very experienced. Josh Henderson comes on, no slouch himself, Dal, but the fact that they can lose someone of his ilk, bring in Josh Henderson, as I said, who's good, but then the Buries can go, we need to take control of this game, and they did just that.
Absolutely they do. And they just keep getting better and better and better. They had some exposure this year to some New South Wales, obviously, A staff, but they just get better and better week in, week out.
Jeez, the composure there by that pack as well. Like Eastwood, just keeping it in there.
Watch
Just
this.
like North's defense of that more was good, but
Terrible
Eastwood
bounce.
looked. Oh wow!
Against
out, man.
Reece Moe picking that one up. And North's actually only scored 2 tries to 4 against East. And Nathan Russell, we saw a couple of weeks ago, missed to convert a penalty late to win the game. This game kicks 5 penalties. So he had the radar on, Nate Russell, and I think in the 64th minute he also dropped an absolute sitter of an intercept as well, the poor bastard. But, I mean, this was an absolute perler of a game, and I think just looking at this, the Shoot Shield finals are going to be absolutely red hot.
And it's interesting, we've had obviously an extremely close competition this year, but the 8 teams that have kind of gone through are probably the 8 teams you would expect year in, year out to go through.
They are the 8 teams you would
Do you know what I
expect.
mean?
But on top of that as well, 3 wins between 1st and 9th.
Yeah, super
3
close.
wins is
Looks
what decided
crazy,
it.
huh?
But it's interesting that those teams are the ones who have actually gone through.
Yeah, and the Hunter Wildfire, as I said, they actually had more wins this season than East, just the quirk of the draw. But then look at that, 79th minute, penalty advantage.
Cheeky.
Bury just goes, see you later, lights out, and ices the game for them. Mate, they are just such a well-rounded side. I think Max Bury as well got a few shots from outside in from Osesi to a Bolotu as well. I don't know if they're in the highlights reel there, but my God, absolutely deleted him. But, mate, I think, Dow, you sort of touched on it. It's North's to lose. They are just such a well-rounded side. Such a well-rounded side.
And it's exciting. I mean, we talk about Nathan Russell, obviously. He used to be up at UQ here, but he's been sensational. He's finding his feet with the kicking tee, which I think is going to be super important for them. He's been a little bit rocks and diamonds throughout the year, but towards the back end of the year when finals comes, we all know how important that is. So if he can be hot with that, they're a genuine chance, right?
Their depth as well. So one thing, like David Finlay-Henaway, I think, was in the running for the Ken Catchpole medal. He's been absolutely awesome. Line-out steals, leads the competition. He's talismanic in their line-out there. Went off about half an hour in with what looked like a pretty serious hammy injury. But they brought on a young kid, Boston Karapa, from up...
Was his
Brought on
son doing cover defence across as well?
To be fair, he's faster.
What are all the dads thinking?
But,
Like, oh,
Yeah.
man.
This
Yeah.
kid.
We're all playing.
They all
and then
get
were they
it.
all laughing?
I didn't really tell anyone. I was like, oh yeah, I'm having some.
But,
That was fine. When the ambulance came, it was fine.
But David Finlay-Henaway's been named this weekend. As I said, Boston Karapa came on. Young second row, I think, from up in the Hunter. Was absolutely awesome for them. But if they lose him, Dal, he has been named, as I said, but he had to get carried off the field with a hemi. If they lose him, that's got to be huge for them.
Yeah, the experience, right? He's been there for the last 4 years. Played a lot of Premier Rugby up here for Brothers and Sunnybank.
Sunnybank.
He's massive for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does a terrific job down there. Obviously, it's going to be a huge loss, but you know what I mean? If they're going to win the competition, they got some good depth there.
Yeah.
He's good as a bloody
But
player.
that kid, Boston Karapa, mate, I reckon he's going to be so sick. He's so sick. I think he...
strong, baby.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Right?
baby.
There we go.
There we go.
No, he was one of the initial members of like the TARS Academy from outside regional, wherever, all that shit. He's a gun, mate. Keep an eye on him because I reckon you never know, he could be one going higher up in the not too distant future. Now it's time for Rugby Watch. Friends, your rugby from the weekend just gone. Can't go past Malcolm Marks.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. He's just a weapon. Don't really need an explanation. He's just like a 6 foot buddy 3. hooker absolutely just dominates. Look at this. He got about like 5 turnovers or something on the weekend.
Look at his short back and sides.
Just look at him. He just looks like a Terminator.
Yeah.
Like a universal soldier.
Yeah.
Looks like a proud boy.
Absolutely. Look at him, mate.
Like just that short back and sides thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like it.
But he's
just
a
the way
gun.
he runs around. He's
Just his head in there. Yeah.
I remember when he was playing in the Japanese league, he was hooker, and I think he had 2 Japanese props. But you could just see him just go burst and just absolutely trample everyone. Look at him.
No, he is phenomenal. And the fact that he hasn't been starting for them, like obviously
I
went
think
to
that's
Japan.
tactical, though.
I also think as well going to Japan, probably not playing at the top of competition in the world.
No, because they've got their front row
Bongi
reserve
and Manabe.
front row is just as good as the front the starting front row. Besides all the Malherbe, like they're Kosh and the big Ranger fella like
Stephen Kitsoff.
Yeah, Kitsoff. He is an absolute weapon too. Like
they're all very beefy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Klutzy. So, Klutzy, your rugby from the weekend just gone is Doug Scarbossa.
Yeah, Dougie Sarbosa. So we're putting some respect on the Friday night Premier Grade 6th grade competition here and going with an absolute battler. Yeah, baby. Yeah, it is the Premier Friday night competition. There is another one going around, so up the Normanby Cup. But Dougie Sarbosa is in his 40s. He's a prop. Pretty much everything that Fringe just described about Marks is what Dougie does in 6th grade. He's an absolute weapon. He only came down to us in 2019. He was friends with one of the other
plenty of years left, right?
Bro,
His 20-year pennant.
how he signed up, and this just personifies the person he is. He was down watching one of his mate's sons train, and then he was watching his mate play Friday night, and he was real pissed, and he signed up on the spot. He rocked up the next week, and he's been down ever since. So, drunk thoughts. He always wanted to play footy.
That's
and,
a traditional pathway in the
It is.
So
It
this is-
really
look,
is.
It really
2019 was the first time playing footy.
Well, since school.
Oh, right.
When he graduated in like 1998.
Which was also 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He picked the ball up. He's like, look how light these balls are. Bloody hell.
But
He just wants to let a little bit of frustration out.
he's possibly one of the
Love
most
it.
aggressive people on the field. He's just always trucking nut, and he also backs up on Saturdays, which at that age to be able to come and play another game the next day, and he just rocks up and just
sit on
gets
the
into
bench
his
for
work.
Yeah, he broke his ankle.
5th grade, 4th grade, broke his ankle last year, rocked up
back
again this year. He's just loving it. So
What a weapon.
And I also love it. I vote for him every week for now 3-2-1's the player of the match because I love seeing him get his name up in the Jeeps team of the week.
Beautiful.
So always share it so his mum shares it as well. So I go around it. I love it. So shout out to Dougie. He's my hero in that team, and I think he should be everyone's hero.
He is our hero.
Amen.
Bless you, Dougie. Big Fat Das. Your rugby is Reece Hodge.
Reece Hodge. For me, he everyone kind of bags Reece Hodge a bit because he's not fantastic at any one specific role, but coming into a World Cup year, mate, especially how the Wallabies only have 2 backs. They got one back reserves. They got one half back, and then you got to have one player that can cover 10 to 15. I love Reece Hodge. He can come on, play 10, 12, 13, 15 winger, and he just stepped up yet again.
Oh, mate.
As hard as it is for some people to accept that, Reece Hodge. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I'm just talking
You know exactly what you mean, mate.
No, mate. Reece Hodge, awesome. And another one who probably he has been a massive beneficiary of that Aussie A setup. Like,
Big time.
Massively.
yes, massively.
You know?
I like that enthusiasm.
I agree. Wait, no, I agree with you from the get-go. Sorry.
I disagree.
I was like, oh, shit, whoops. No,
Yes.
but, mate, he's absolutely killing it, and it's good to see. It's good to see he's able to go down in that setup, work on his game. Now he's coming in and beating the Argies. How bloody good. Dow, your rugby, Jed Holloway, Matt Gibbon, and Fraser McWright.
Jed Holloway.
Yeah, it was hard to obviously for me to go past these 3 guys. Jed, well, let's go with Fraser first. Obviously, the conditions that he came in, he's been looking to come in. What's about? Oh, this is Jed. Yeah, so Jed Holloway, obviously, just the way and the journey he's had over the last couple of years. I just think finally seeing him on that field and playing the footy he's playing has been pretty special.
And it's good to see what's that? 2 29-year-old debutants this year alone.
How good is that? That is so good.
There's still hope.
Handsome
That's what it's all about, though. That's what it's all about. Don't write them off just because they're a bit older.
No. And then we talk about Fraze, like the conditions he came in. He's obviously on the up and one of those guys who's, you know what I mean, got a big future ahead of him. But to come in and play the way he played, I think was pretty special.
And Matt Gibbon getting his Wallaby debut.
Wallaby debut, but I think the conditions he had as well, like he obviously went through the system, but lost his grandfather, who basically raised him and Alex, do you know what I mean, on the farm. And to lose him in the same week, you're going to make your debut. I just think the way he controlled his emotions, and it meant so much to him. And you saw interviews from all three of those guys, and all in very different conditions and in all different parts of their journey, but all very emotional about it. And I think it just, for me, the most special part about that win was seeing these guys and seeing how much it meant to each and every one of them. Mm-hmm. We don't see that very often, right? You know what I mean? It's just kind of business as usual. And to see the emotion that they all shared, and we saw the photo of Jed and him just soaking it up, you know what I mean, in Mendoza, lying on the field, 15 minutes, 20 minutes after everyone's gone to the sheds is rugby, and that's what I enjoyed most about it.
Hell yeah.
Good feel with that group, eh?
It is, and it almost felt like it was, that win meant so much more to Australian rugby. Yep. And you know what I mean? Maybe I just look at it because I'm just so passionate about the game, but just watching it was just like, fuck me, like this is pretty special.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just a good bunch of lads, those boys.
Yep. I woke my wife up to let her know the boys got up with a dub, eh?
You have to, mate.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, hey, by the way, boys got up. And she's like, shut the hell up. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. And then my rugby from the weekend just gone. I can't go past the Hunter Wildfires. For a side, this team was down 26-12 at the half. Josefa Tamani, as I said, the back row. Donnie Freeman is an absolute beast. He's a mongrel. But 26-7 down. They score on the half, so it's 26-12 at the half. And then they come away with an 83rd minute penalty to ice the game and win. They had every right. They did everything they needed to do, bar get more bonus points this year to play finals football. They had more wins than East. They won this last game. They're just so tenacious, and they are
far out.
Yeah, that was a shocker, eh? How good was that?
How do they win from there?
That was,
Oh, wow.
Alex Poller, 78th minute.
Make sure of it.
Was it Mahe?
Was it?
No, I think it was Alex Poller.
Angle, sorry.
Alessani Poller, but Winchester steps up, nails this in the 83rd minute.
Awesome.
But I mean, I know I was sucking off Bubba Coleman before about how much I love him. I know I piss and moan about how much I love the Hunter Wildfires and all this sort of stuff. But they deserve to be playing finals football.
They do. Yeah,
they knock off Gordon. They knock off Sydney Uni. They knock off Manly twice. They knock off the Wicks. Like they are an awesome football side. They got 9 wins this season in an 18-win season. Like, it is a huge success for what they've done, and it is a testament to what they're building up there, and it's a testament to the strength of the game down in Sydney that a side like that, like, you saw when they announced all the results from the weekend on Instagram, and everyone was just, like, bummed that Hunter weren't in there. They came 9th, same as they did this year. But last year...
a lot less wins, though, was it?
Hell of a lot less. Yeah.
But if you're say a young up-and-comer or someone who's, maybe looking for a bit of a change in the Shoot Shield or even in Premier Rugby, that's a place you want to go to now.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean, the culture that he's built off his own back and the amount of wins they've had and how much they push teams this year, like all of a sudden it's like, oh, geez, Newcastle, it's like, fuck, the Wildfires, let's go.
Yes. Yeah. I love them. Love them with all my heart. Wildfires are going to win it next year, and if they don't, I'll shave my balls on TV or whatever it is I'm doing this year.
Just shave your back.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so, I mean, commiserations to the Wildfires, but mate, hell of a season for the boys.
Chin up.
They'll be back bigger and better next year. Speaking about bigger and better, we'll be back bigger and better next week. But in the meantime, I'm getting the word from Tino. We need to like and subscribe and share all our content because it's the only way the PAC Show grows. Klutzy. Thank you so much for joining the boys.
Yes, Klutzy.
Tonight,
Give me a
mate.
round of
applause
applause
to Klutz.
Thanks for having us, boys.
Because he's
beautiful.
My in-depth analysis,
I was real nervous, to be honest.
Were you really? Starstruck? Or
yeah,
just,
honestly. Big fan of Bloody
Bloody
Brute
Brute
Beers.
Thanks, boys.
Massive fan. I was just like, when I saw them on this, not Super Round, what's it called? Magic Round.
Magic Round.
yes.
The stuff they did there, like sitting
So
next
good.
to him, I was genuinely pretty nervous. But Klutz, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us, boys.
He's
It was
humble,
an
mate.
absolute
He's humble.
pleasure.
We'll have to do Super Rugby Magic Round next year. And the NRL
a
one.
great
And then we can
idea.
just
Everyone
do
down to Melbourne.
Let's just...
We're doing
Yeah.
it. We're going.
Oh, let's do it. It'd be fun.
But yeah, Klutz, thanks for
Everyone
joining
down
us.
to Melbourne. That's better. I'm down to Melbourne. Melbourne? Question mark?
Dallin, all the best for this weekend. Congratulations, brother.
Yes,
We'll see you in a
congrats,
couple
Dal.
of weeks' time. I'll see
boys.
you on Monday when we go down to Byron. Big Fat Das, Freeney, as per usual. Meh. Zach, Tino, thanks very much. And as I said, tune in next week. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, share all our content. And we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Ciao.